Okay, just a quick follow-up video at 835 East 236th. Gonna take a look at the clean out and see how we look for moving forward on getting a new tenant in here. So nothing really was done. We had some guys doing some painting on the ceiling because the ceiling was yellow. So I've had the ceiling painted. And they started to patch up cracks and lines, maybe a hole that was in the wall over here. Okay. So they did just do some patching and they started the ceilings. Doesn't look like they did this one. So they just started a couple ceilings and I told them to hold off until you had more information. Okay, so let's go through kind of what we need to do here to bring a tenant back in. Okay, we know we have some violations the city wants us to fix. We started to fix those. We'll look at that on the outside of the house. And we have a couple more things to do. So one of the things we need to do, we never did, is when the old tenant moved out, she broke these storm windows. So the city wants us to replace them. Okay, no big deal. We'll replace them. Condition in here is still pretty good. We have a couple touch-up places to handle for painting, but we have this paint. We never painted the trim in this place, so we never did paint this. This is sort of the old paint. We never really did the trim. It's just dingy, so I had somebody look at maybe doing that, but we haven't decided anything on that. It's not even that bad. It's just there's some places where it needs to be cleaned up. If you want to take a closer look here, you can see they had carpet in here at one point, I think, and there's something on this molding. It's just kind of like I don't know what it is. There's some kind of adhesive from when they probably had carpet in this room. And I think that was in here when I first got in the house. This was a carpeted room because we refinished these floors. We did these floors. Okay. So just some touch-up paint. We're gonna need new appliances. I had bought a new, to replace this 1965 light. I had bought a, nice LED light. You can change the color on this in the sense, make it brighter white or less bright white. It had all kinds of great options on it for color. I bought a ceiling fan for in here because we never did anything about that. So I bought one of those. And, we didn't change out the lights in here when we did the renovation originally in this unit. So I was going to buy a track light in here. This is the master. I was going to buy a track light in here. And this is just going to be a small ceiling fan. So these are not expensive items, but they go a long way in getting this place re-rented. Other thing we didn't do is we never replaced the closet doors. Okay, so these are the old closet doors. I thought we need to get 2 closet doors, once for this one, once for the other bedroom. The old windows. So this is an old window and this is an old window. And they're painted shut. And I'm actually quite surprised the tenant never complained about getting them open, but I guess there's air conditioning, so they didn't care. And here we have old window number 3. And then we have a new window in here. So new window there. There's our other closet door that's missing. Okay, a couple more small repairs to sand and just paint. I just told them to do, get some painting done, get some touch-up done until you decide where you want to go with this. We're going to need new appliances. I probably mentioned that. This broke off. This is the pantry door to this. Okay, that broke off, so we'll have to put that back on. But that looks pretty good. Obviously, we changed the locks, right? Okay. We had some cleaning to do in the basement. So there was a bunch of stuff sitting down here. And this is all the tennis upstairs. But there were some old appliances down here. Just old dryers, old washers that had been sitting down here. And they had their appliances. Their tenants who moved and took our refrigerator, they had their appliances. They took those. So, basically, we got pretty much a nicely clean basement for the most part. I mean, it needs to be tidied up. It's not super clean, but, once we clean it up, it'll look like a nice space. Lastly, let's talk about the outside. Okay. So, we have this obnoxious tree in the backyard that has, for the last few years, been losing its branches. Now, it's not dead, but it's just been losing pieces and parts of the tree over time. And we've been tasked with having to clean that up, bag it up, pile it up, and it still comes down. You still see there's more that came down. It's crazy. So the worst part now is that it came down in the neighbor's yard and also took down their mast here on their house. I'm surprised they haven't called me about this yet. Basically, this whole thing got pulled out when the tree came down. Part of the tree came down back here, you can see. And it's just been so bitterly cold, I haven't been able to get anybody to come out and cut this up and maintain it. But, I don't think the electrical company is going to come back here and put this back up until we get maybe one of these large branches out of the way. I've got to talk to the neighbor about this, but, we're going to have to probably get rid of this for them too. This is our tree. I mean, you can see, look at this thing. It's 100 years old or more. And it's got all kinds of new branches coming off it, but the old branches have been falling, the ones that just have been stretched out for so long. So anyway, want to kind of give you an idea of that there's going to be something to do there, I'm imagining. Garages are in good shape. They're not electric garages. We got a little more tidied up to do in here, but this is mostly stuff we can handle through just a normal trash pickup. We'll bag the leaves up and so forth. That's the neighbor's extra refrigerator. And that's it. So we'll talk soon about what you think you want to do from this point forward.